YouTube. Jean-Claude Van Damme Bloodsport figure. Let's go.
Behold my stuff.
All right, let's unbox this JCVD figure from Diamond Select Toys. This is a 1/10 scale figure, which we're going to figure out a little bit later. There's a whole write-up on the back. The original image shows that he had the wrapped hands from Kickboxer. They did not do that. They kept this pretty much straight up Bloodsport, which I like. They did include some Kickboxer stuff, though, which is kind of odd. So looking at the figure, it's double jointed at the elbows and the knees. I prefer the double joint because it gives you a lot more flexibility in posing, especially with martial arts. Now, as you can see right here, the hip joints, they do the splits, but they also go up and down. There's additional flexibility. They're also flesh-colored pegs, which I hate. We're going to have to repaint that. But if you turn the legs downward, you can actually pivot the legs and the thighs at the cutoff where the trunks end. And of course the chairs have two divots for the split pose, which you can do, and you can set them up as that, and that's just like a fun thing to include. So I'm good with that. There isn't a ton of torso movement, but there's some. The double joints work really, really well. It's going to allow for some very, very good posing. The yellow sash is just kind of a muted yellow. It doesn't stand on its own all that great. It comes with a Diamond Select multi-pivoted stand. So we're going to assemble that and give it a go, but it's actually so flopsy and weak that you're not going to be able to pose this guy in the air with this, unless you really dial in and tighten up those screws, but it can't handle the weight. So I don't even know. I wanted to do the spin kick pose, but who the hell knows. So it comes with some extra hands, some slightly grabby hands, and then these tiger claw hands, which I don't even know what the hell that's about. And they're different color than the body, so they're not the same color. They need to be painted. My guess is the plastic they use to make the hands is a different base than the other. They got this really cool head. I like this head. It's the beat-up Final Scene Screaming head, which is the best thing ever. Came with a bottle. Came with a broken bottle. Don't know what the hell the broken bottle's for. I guess that was something from Kickboxer. I don't even know. It's just there. It's fine. I'll throw it in my fodder pile for dioramas for other things.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty cool.
So the long and short of this is that the stand it comes with is crap. It has no stability. I could tighten the screws and try to see if it'll hold them in the air or not, but it's a garbage stand. The two chairs are just funny. These hip joints that slide, that have like vertical movement, I don't get that at all. I do not understand why you would do that. The fact that the legs pivot at the clothing kind of renders the need to pivot the hip joints as much kind of useless. So I don't really know why they do that either. But for the most part, you get the pose, and it's cool. A few things that sort of leave me wanting are the paint job. The sculpt is brilliant. I will say that. The sculpt is a perfect sculpt for the body type he had as he appears in the last scene of Bloodsport. The shape of the legs, the curvature, the way the musculature set up, his lats, his chest, his arms, they're very, very appropriate. And his face is not bad either. But they did this awful brown wash over his face, which I do not care for. And there's a few spots on the body that just have like a spraying of black, which I don't get at all. So we're gonna have to do some repaint with Jean-Claude here. Got a new face. I like his sort of angry face. I don't know why they included these broken bottles. There's no real bottles in Bloodsport. But again, it's not really Bloodsport. It's just called a JCVD figure. So, originally they had said that they were going to do the wrapped hands, which is what they did in Kickboxer, but they did not do that, which I'm happy about. But the hands are a different color than the rest of the body. The hands don't match. I don't know what the tiger claw hands here are for. I would have preferred they give one open palm, so that it could be like the hit to the stomach. I think that's what you're supposed to use this one for. But yeah, I mean, this is a really solid figure, and I am super excited to have one. I got to make a Chun-Li now because we've got to have a Bloodsport final battle. But this affords me a couple of cool things that I can do that I've wanted to do for a while. I've needed this head, and we're gonna go ahead and do some stuff with this. But yeah, this is a pretty cool figure. The double joints are gonna create maximum posing, but be careful with them because if you need to heat them up because you could easily snap this. The thing that's weird is that you can't put the shoulder joint in such a way that this goes straight down. So the arms don't stand at their sides the way they're supposed to. Also, the joints on the figure are loose enough that posing is a nightmare. So you need the stand, but the stand is crap. Diamond Select has never been great with posability. In terms of stability, they're right behind McFarlane, in my opinion, and crap. Marvel Legends figures and NECA figures are much easier to pose than McFarlane's or Diamond Selects, but it's a good figure. It really looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport. I like it a lot. His actual height, I'll do a quick. It's a 7-inch scale, so this is a 1/10 figure. So you're not going to be able to mix him up with Marvel Legends or anything like that. I actually did get him to stand. How about that? The chairs are just a fun thing that they include. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it. I'll probably just throw them in my Evil Dead diorama for the moment. But it's a cool figure. It's a cool look. The posture is good. They just did a great job on the sculpt. I just feel like I got to do something with the paint job. The paint job isn't quite where I want it.
A few moments later.
And a final look here now. We've gone in and repainted him. So we repainted the main head. You can see I haven't highlighted him out just yet, but he's got his new base tone. And it hides a lot of that black wash and brown wash, which has sucked. Same with this face. We muted down the bruise. We enhanced some of the features around the lips and things like that. So it's a much cleaner look now. We put on the palm strike. We enhanced some of the musculature, did some dry brushing over the pectorals and things like that. We did some old gold over the tassel, the sash, and heat bent it out. And just kind of put him in the palm strike pose. And for now, that'll work. So again, if you can't build it, buy it. If you can't buy it, build it. Do both.